Hi, my name is Boluwatife Jimoh. I'd like to specially appreciate IPSF Paro for organizing this project and webinar for me to share my experience as a pharmacy student volunteer. In this webinar, I'll be talking about the following: professionalism with volunteers and co-workers, skills developed during volunteering, things to still learn from volunteering, and time management and project management tips. So a brief introduction about myself. I would describe myself as a highly enthusiastic, resilient person with an excellent work ethic that works towards driving positive change. I'm a final year pharmacy student studying at the University of Lagos, Nigeria. Among several volunteering engagements, I have participated as an active member of a health team that organizes quarterly health outreaches in municipalities where people who might otherwise be marginalized inhabit. A few years ago, we conducted an outreach at Ojuelegba in Lagos, Nigeria, where we organized free medical checkup, gave medical counseling, and provided free health supplements to over 200 people. I also serve in the role of a welfare and membership secretary in the Trophy Club organization, an NDLE affiliated student body that conducts campaigns against drug and substance abuse or misuse. I founded the Mother and Child Health Project, an initiative that works towards reducing maternal and infant mortality rate and maternal and infant health, and improving maternal and infant health. I serve in the role of National Coordinator for the Pharmacy Advocacy Campaign in the Future Pharmacy Initiative. And recently, we carried out the awareness campaign in secondary schools and in market communities nationwide in Nigeria. Arguably the first of its kind in the country, and I dare to say in Africa too. At the Future Pharmacy Initiative, I also serve in the role of publication team lead, responsible for the publications that advocate for the pharmacy profession and a better healthcare system. I also serve in the role of administrator of the editorial of the Pharmaceutical Association of Nigerian Students, PANS, University of Lagos chapter. I'm an active member of PANS Research Club of University of Lagos. I'm also a member of the committee of the PANS UNILAG Health Week. I'm a member, champion, and certified sustainability leader by the United People Global, advocating for a better world. Now, tips for professionalism with volunteers and co-workers. Now, on professionalism with volunteers and co-workers. One thing you need to note is that you have to be open-minded. People come from different cultural backgrounds, so you have to try to understand their own views and experience. Recently, I was in a discussion with some friends about using 3 different platforms for a virtual event, and we all had different perspectives to the execution of this event. At this point, we didn't see it or take it as an argument, but as an avenue to learn from another person's perspective or view. Here we stated our options, pros and cons of these platforms, and drew a conclusion to use one particular platform. So it's very important for you to be open-minded and not see everything as an attack to your own proposal or opinion. Secondly, on professionalism with volunteers and co-workers, you need to be polite and show respect. Don't outrightly dispute someone's comments or contribution. Another one on professionalism with volunteers and co-workers is to give compliments. Yes, compliments is very important. It boosts morale and also create an environment with harmony. When someone comes up with a creative idea or shares something great, perhaps it's something to celebrate or give them compliment. It also removes toxic energy from the environment and lifts up everyone's spirits, creating an environment with harmony. Also, on professionalism, offer to assist when necessary and when you can. This creates trust and friendship and also growth mindset. They will see you as a person that wants to grow and also support their growth. Lastly, on the point of professionalism is to not keep quiet. Speak up when you detect an error. That will help them improve as well and also help you grow as well. Recently, I completed a program. In this program, one way to get connected to people and opportunities depend on your activeness, and as it's a virtual program, it relies on your communication skills and speaking up and contributing at any point you can. Remember to speak about things that are relevant and not jargons. So on skills developed during volunteering, for me, I developed skills such as time management and project management skills, and I'll be talking more about this later. During volunteering events, I strongly encourage you to speak up as it will help you as you go. For me, I always contributed and shared my opinion when needed, and that has helped me a lot. It also helped me to take up leadership positions as well because I spoke up. Same as problem solving skills. I started as just a volunteer in some organizations, but the contributions I made to solve different problems made them recommend me for some leadership roles. So it's important to try as much as possible to speak and also go out of your way to solve problems. In addition to this, is presentation skills. Leadership roles I picked up gave me assignment to learn how to use presentation applications. So I strongly recommend that you take up leadership roles wherever necessary in your volunteering experience. Now on things to still learn during volunteering. For me, I still wish to build my network and growth, learn new things, create positive impact, solve more problems. There are a lot of things to still accomplish, and one thing I've learned is that your work will make people recommend you. So whatever is worth doing is worth doing well. Now on time management. Tips you need to know on time management include: firstly, you need to list out your tasks. Set a typical list of tasks you will do, like you will carry out. Understand? Then define your tasks. It's very important to define your tasks because it will give you a sense of what you are up to, and also arrange them in hierarchy from the least to the least important to the most important as well. So you also need to understand which one needs to be done first. This may be affected by other external factors like environment, weather, power supply, and if you are staying in this part of the world, like the power supply is not really stable. So you need to know which tasks are you going to do first, and you need to consider them based on these factors. And you also need to be realistic in your time setting, and don't deceive yourself. It's very important for you to be realistic. So if you know you are supposed to study for about 4 hours divided in a day, you should and will not exceed that. You understand? So you need to be very realistic in your time setting as well. Don't deceive yourself. If you know you can only study for about 4 hours divided in a day, don't exceed that. From here you'll be able to see what you can do with the remaining time to volunteer. Also, it's important for you to review your time. Are you catching up, or you're in alignment with the tasks and the list you set and the hierarchy you set? Do you need to adjust it or change it? Understand? So it's very important for you to also review your time as you also go on. And you can also use application software for time management. For me, I use the traditional method where I use my journal, my jotter, my diary, and my pen. So I just set my plan and the timer, set my the alarm on my phone to just keep up, and also set reminders as well. Now on tips on project management. If you are to set up a project, your project needs to be smart, that is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. And before you say you want to set out a project, you also need to identify a problem and define this problem. It's very important for you to define your problem, because it's also going to give you a sense of understanding of what you are up to. Now concerning the planning of the project, you need to set out the vision and the mission statement of the project. That's very necessary. Understand? So in some cases you may not need to set that, and in some cases you need to set that in place. And also you need to also identify the goals and objectives of this project. So concerning the project name, you need to set your project name has to be simple, comprehensive, relevant, and not too long. And also you need to identify your target audience. So for in a project where you are doing the formal advocacy now, who are you targeting? Are you targeting the community people? Are you targeting the pharmacists? Are you targeting the other healthcare professionals? You understand? You need to identify your target audience. This is very, very important in carrying out a project. And the media of communication, is it virtual? Is it physical? Is it through messages? Is it through social medias? So you need to also, it's very important for you to identify your media of communication. And then now you've identified these things, now you need to know who you'll be working with to carry out this project. So you need to identify your team and committees. Who will you be needing? You need the people capable of social media managers, you need people, graphic designers, you need people that will, you need to set a team of people that will able to achieve this project with you. So you need to define your team and the committee roles as well. The team member roles and the committee roles, very important. And where will this take place? You also need to know if it's a physical event, a physical project, or even if it's a virtual event, which virtual platform are you going to be using, and when are you going to be doing it. You need to look at the condition of that particular time you'll be carrying out your project to check on the favorable period of carrying out the project. You also need to look for favorable environments to carry out the project so as for you to deliver your project very well. You also need to set a timeline for your project event. So which one, what are you going to be doing first at this particular time? what are you going to be doing at this particular time. It's very important to set a timeline for your particular project, so it's going to give you a sense of how the project is going to turn out. And also you need to identify the resources that will be needed for the project. You will be needing funding for this project. What kind of support will you be needing to like execute this project? These are very key things for you to like execute a project. So those are the tips I will share on project management. And thank you very much for listening. It's a pleasure to be here once again.